Bad stuff a lot of times comes from underground, in my
I
experience.
agree.
Plus, I'm feeling kind of creepy just hanging around in the ladies' dressing room.
So, Calm, tonight's game is...
Tonight's game is Weird Heroes of Public Access, WHPA TV 13 Fairhaven, written by the Reverend Joey Royale.
Do you want to give a quick recap of what it is for those listening at home, Colin?
Oh, God, no, I didn't plan that far ahead.
Well, the gist is, I think I could sum it up. I shelled out the $3.50 for the PDF. And the gist is, it's there's a cable access channel in a town filled with mystery. And the weird hosts, I believe, are going to encounter and solve various, or attempt to solve, various supernatural threats to the community, perhaps to the very universe itself.
One can hope. Yeah, a little bit Monster of the Week, a little bit Over the Edge, maybe.
Wow. Interesting that I was kind of landing on reading through the PDF.
A little bit country.
A little bit
rock and roll.
I would say it's like it's essentially Elvira, as if what Elvira talks about was the real world.
A little bit Japanese girl metal. A little bit Finnish death metal.
I think there's a little bit of funk in there.
A little bit of bluegrass.
A little bit.
Yep. Absolutely no REO Speedwagon though.
Mm-hmm.
Very odd. Very, very odd.
That's just the way she rolls.
So we can't, under any circumstance, take it on the run?
Oh Jesus. You're fired.
We're gonna just keep these rolling, huh?
That's fair. Here's my deal. I have 4 character concepts and I like all of them.
Oh, wow.
So I would be happy to hear other people's and pick the one that is least like them.
Okay.
All right.
Garrett, you have your guy already, right?
Captain Puddles. He's got his children's entertainment cartoon show on Saturday mornings, the Captain Puddles Silly Seaside Show. He's a clown. Pretty cool guy.
Like a nautically themed clown, right?
Yeah, so he's got a captain's hat, a squirting captain's hat for those in the know. He's got a metal bucket, a rubber anchor, safety items, a cast iron pan. But essentially, he's got these yellow slickers that go way wide. So they're about a foot on either side of them, and it looks like they're all filled with water, or it's filled with water, but it's kind of like paper mache, whatever else it is, and that's kind of where he keeps all of his stuff. But he's got hydrokinesis for his supernatural ability. So he loves running water gags in his show. So, he'll like have water in the bucket and try and throw it at somebody and no water comes out. And he does it to like 5 people. And finally the 6th one gets splashed. Or, nice. Somebody's looking up and the bucket turns over and no water comes out. And then they look at the crowd and then the water comes out. Like,
that's good shtick.
That's good.
It's something. But I've got 3 connections. I got some special things that he can do. But plumber by trade. So I had a connection with old man Schneiderman, who owns the hardware store in town. I'm in good with Matty Jeff Fack, the building inspector of the area. And P. Zanzibar is my surveillance guy, running out of the arcade, the video arcade.
Nice.
I mean, as soon as I saw Clown, I couldn't do it. That's the only one I could do. So, but I guess if there is a role, I'm going to try and play tank if possible, because I got this weird thing that might help me deal with body damage.
Yeah.
If we're looking for roles to fill, that's kind of where I'm sitting. So like connections and physical stuffs.
All right. Did you have a question, Brent?
Yeah, I was wondering if we were going to run through character creation. I'm sitting here with a blank character sheet, and similar to Rob,
I've got a basic concept. I've got some things filled out, but I need some help.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I've got my basic ideas, but I've not filled out the sheet. So
okay, cool.
So Garrett, we wouldn't say the words teacher's pet exactly, but
right.
We wouldn't.
I got it. As soon as I saw the clown, I was hooked. So that's pretty much the impetus. So don't blame me. Blame Captain.
We all know that you're wearing a big brown nose.
Somebody's got to. Authenticity. authenticity.
Yeah, I mean, not saying that there are gold stars being given out, but Garrett, I think you got this one.
Well, I've got no gold stars left. I gave them all to Garrett.
Yeah.
Oh, yep, there you go.
Thank you. Yes, drive the wedge. Drive the wedge between the punches.
Thank you for the card, Garrett.
You're welcome.
So basically, your characters are these hosts of cable access shows, public
Right.
cable access shows. And
The best kind.
Brent, are you even old enough for public access cable?
I mean, I'm aware of it as a concept. I can't say that I ever tuned into any public access shows.
Yeah, that-
Parade of Homes was a thing that we would turn on fairly often, and that was like just real estate listings, and then like walk-arounds in different houses that were available in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh no, we had one. We had one in Madison, which is my
Mhm.
favorite one of all time. Well, of course, it was Non Compos Mentis, which was a show hosted by and for the mentally ill.
Mhm.
And there was a music show where they would have local bands on.
Yep. Tim
Where-
Sundog had the
There you
one that we
go.
were on. There's the one where the guy just put stuff on a grill, not like food necessarily, or if it was food, I mean, it would just keep going, and he'd occasionally fast forward it,
and you
and
grill
just
it.
like until it
That's-
disintegrated. Yeah,
Does it grill?
yeah.
There was the kid who reviewed rides at Disneyland.
Oh.
yeah.
And he would, which was my personal favorite. I would watch that religiously. I don't know if it was just a repeat over and over again. It probably was, but he was voraciously thirsty. So he was constantly drinking for water, and he would become more and more frustrated with his off-camera father, where he would just
Yeah.
scowl at him. Yeah, highly recommended.
Blunt from Head Pump did a music show where like a band would play and they'd talk, and then he had like regular like teenage prank callers who he'd like talk back and forth with for like 5 minutes at a time.
Yes, public access was basically this thing. I think it died out in probably the early 2000s.
Well, the internet killed it.
The internet must have killed it.
Yeah, the
But
internet killed
I'm explaining it to Brent and to the
Yeah,
other 20 somethings out there.
Well, and all the
Brent-
youth who listen, our
Yeah.
younger listeners.
Yeah,
Yes.
all of our
Well,
younger listeners.
I
That's
believe
all
they're
who
called youth. They call
The
them
youth.
That's all
The
who
youth.
listen. We have cornered the 30 to 17-year-old market apparently.
for first.
Uh,
And for first, even better.
but you could basically pay $25, or I don't know how much it was. Say $20, Brent. You could go down to the station and you could pick a time slot that was available, and you could pay your $20 for an hour. And you basically went in there and you had a TV studio and you could do whatever the hell you wanted
Mm-hmm.
And
for that hour, and you could
Pretty
broadcast
awesome.
it in the greater Dane County area.
Yeah. Well, any like the whole country had. This was
It was
public
like
access cable.
federally mandated.
It was
like, yeah.
mandated. It was lawfully mandated. Every metropolitan area
Provider,
had to,
yeah.
every provider had to offer public access.
And it was
So,
quite the thing.
it was awesome.
quite the thing.
It was really awesome. Yeah. Pretty great stuff.
I'd like to say there was a lot of talent on there, but there
No,
wasn't.
no, almost never.
But there was some great stuff.
The movie UHF kind of gets at some of that. If you've ever seen it.
But then there's UHF
yeah.
TV too, though.
Which it's
That's a whole
yeah.
that's a whole other story.
Yeah, it's a little tangential, but it's kind of related.
So basically, just think of being the host of any kind of show you want it to be, but then, take the production values down considerably,
Yeah.
take the talent and ability down considerably, but all that's really there. These shows were just run by people, usually very, very marginalized, oddball people with a huge, just boundless enthusiasm for their subject. And they, 9 times out of 10, they were terrible at hosting. They had no charisma. They had no visual presence whatsoever. But that made them all the more fascinating as far as I was concerned.
Yeah, it was charming.
Oh yeah.
So I have a lot of this fleshed. I don't have the details, but my host name is Link Thickneck, and his show is Excitement with an exclamation point at the end.
Okay.
He's obsessed with eggs.
Oh God.
Yes.
I mean, did you know all the things you can do with eggs? We're not even talking about eating or cooking. Like the uses you can put the egg to, it's kind of incredible.
As in non-common uses for eggs?
Oh yeah, but he'll also do some some episodes will be devoted to cooking, but it won't.
Oh, of course.
It ain't gonna be easy. You know, it's not gonna be. This is not just your scrambled egg here.
Oh,
This is a special interest show then.
Special interest, yeah. I figured his safety item is a metal spatula,
Nice.
nice.
and I figured out I don't have the details of his supernatural ability fully fleshed out, but I figured it was microwave vision.
Ooh.
He can with his eyes, he can beam microwaves out of his eyes.
That's
For
one
who
from
knows
the
what
book.
purpose.
Yeah.
That's as far as I got. I haven't fully figured out what his day job yet. Part of me thinks he ought to be like like a line cook, and part of me thinks no, maybe he should maybe instead of being like the too cool comic book store guy, he should be actually the guy who hates working at the comic book store. Or I don't know. I haven't quite gotten there yet.
Well, we still got to make part of the city too. I think that's later on. But if you go later on in the handbook, Damon, you'll find the planning and zoning. That might help you work some of the rest of it out while we work on the others.
I was also wondering if anybody had any just immediate ideas that I could maybe, I'm happy to take any input from anybody else.
I don't think he should work in food.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And they
either.
suggest having a job that's unrelated to your
Yeah.
show.
Radio station. I guess what else do we kind of want in the town?
Oh wait,
He's
he's a carpenter.
Cool.
You could do, yeah.
Yeah, and that's where he got all the ideas for all these things he can do eggs with. He uses eggs in his carpentry.
Nice.
Okay.
That's what inspired him.
Sure.
Does he work at the hardware store? He could work at the hardware store.
Oh, that might even be better. Just working at the hardware store. Oh, I kind of
Mhm.
like that. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Why make him as exciting as a carpenter?
Yeah, all right. You've already named the car. It's what was the name of the hardware store? Mr.
It's
Schneiderman's?
Old Man Snyderman. So I mean, it's basically. I guess we could just call it Snyderman's, or we could call it Old Man's.
No,
Right.
he works at Snyderman's Hardware.
He's a stalker at Schneiderman's Hardware.
There you go.
Excellent.
I like it.
It's already coming together.
I like it.
Do you know what you were gonna put his you get 2 points to one core skill that's related to your special interest?
I mean,
So you
I think I don't remember exactly what mind. I'm looking it up right now. I read through this.
Like on page 5.
Yeah.
mine is like knowledge, problem solving, detection, navigation.
I mean, I think mind makes sense because of all the things he's thinking about.
Yes. So would I. So he would get an extra 2.
So what are the base points for these?
The base are nothing, but
Nothing.
you roll a d6 regardless for any of them, and then you roll an additional d6 for any additional points you have in those.
So my scores
looking
would be
for
2
5s
for
and 6s,
mind,
right?
would be 2 for mind, and then 0 for mouth, body, soul. Is that how I'm reading this?
Oh no, but
Nope.
everybody gets to distribute 2 skill points on
Plus 2.
page 5,
Yep.
plus whatever your
Yep.
bonus is for your specialty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Page
Yep.
5.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So in addition, you got your programming focus. You get the 2 skill points. You got your host programming skill points. You define any connections you have. Then you already got your day job. You got to roll for your money, which is D6 times 10.
Okay.
Figure out your props. You got your supernatural ability, and you get 6 hope points, which is essentially hit points. Is that how I'm reading that?
Yep, basically, yep.
But mental and physical, yeah.
Oh, I've got $60.
And we can retcon your props as we go along.
Yeah, I'm not
At
sure what
this
to do
point.
with the props just
Yeah,
yet.
that's fine.
Safety item I've got.
hmm
6 hope points.
We can just go along.
Mhm.
So so you've got, like, for instance, you've got 2 points in mind.
Yep.
So if you were ever making a roll in mind, you would roll 3 dice. You
Okay.
would roll your base 1 plus your 2.
Okay.
Also, for special interest, you get to pick a special gadget in addition to your safety item,
Yeah, I don't know I don't understand. I don't know what to do with the special gadget.
like a blender or.
Like what? But don't they have to be a little bit like again? I kind of read through this like last night, and I'm not like were they more special than that or?
It's just it's more.
Well-
It's access to a special
Oh.
gadget. So then that's it.
Yeah.
That's the entire thing.
I have no idea what that like. I'm a little stumped about what that means and what
Yeah.
that can be.
I'm working on it.
It could be anything you want it to be.
Special gadget.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Like maybe equipment at the hardware store, or well,
Or
you could think
really,
on that though, right?
a really souped up whisk.
I mean,
Oh, a powered
awesome
whisk?
can a whisk
An
be?
electric
Yeah.
whisk?
Like a power
Laser-
whisk that you keep in a belt holster.
Laser
Oh,
whisk.
no, it could be. Okay, so they've got such things as battery belts, and they've got the old corded drill. You could have something on the end of that. That would give some power to you. All of the tech is feasible, especially for back in the day and up till now too. Plus, if you watch Drill Killer, there's
yeah,
that.
I gotta think on it a little bit.
All right, sure.
I guess I need to read up
Don't
more. Access to a special. I just need to see some more examples of a special gadget
Yeah.
to inspire me.
I don't know if you're gonna find one.
You're not gonna find it in
Really?
the
Oh,
22
no.
pages of this thing.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just up to your imagination, but I wouldn't worry about it for now.
All right. We'll skip it for the moment. Do I? Oh wait. So I'm sorry. Do I get any connections, or is that about it? That I've mostly rounded out my character.
Special
gadget,
interest gets one connection.
one connection.
Oh, and remember, cop's bad.
Yeah, I do remember that. Cops are definitely bad. I'm thinking like it ought to be somebody that supplies the hardware store, like a business connection, maybe. I don't know. Maybe the store owner. Maybe I know Schneiderman himself, and that's how I even got this
Ooh.
job. Is that reasonable? 2 on the nose?
Well, I mean, think about what you might want to exploit too. I mean,
I would want to
here's-
have access to all the crap I can get my hands on.
I've got one.
You could do a park
I've
ranger.
got one, Damon.
Yeah.
I've got one for you, Damon. Okay.
Yeah.
So your character is obsessed with eggs.
Oh yeah.
What if your connection is the exotic pet dealer?
Nice.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh,
Who you get you,
I was-
who supplies you
Doesn't have to be just
supplies
chicken.
you
and eggs.
with exotic eggs.
That's even more important. Yeah. Okay. I'll go with
Well,
that.
I don't know. It's just a thought. I mean,
It's not bad. But that's not bad.
Can there be more than one exotic pet dealer in town? I might have already nabbed that connection. And I'm
Well,
not
that's okay.
sure.
I mean, I'm also thinking like in general,
Okay.
like I'm thinking my connection is a local farm that supplies eggs to the local store, so I can get my hands on them cheap and forever.
Oh, I like that.
So,
That makes
like
sense.
the grocery store, or
So-
you go to
No.
a farmer? Okay.
He goes to
The
the
actual farm.
source.
Yeah, go to the source. So it'll be farmer will be the
Yeah.
farmer. Yeah, I'll get a name for him in a minute. So that's a connection. I have a special gadget I got to think of. That's mostly it, isn't it?
yeah.
Hot dog.
it's mostly it.
Awesome.
Who
Thank you.
wants to go next? There's Rob and there's Brent to go.
I think I've got a character actually.
Oh, all right.
All right, so my character is named Erasmus Polk, and their show is a local talk show called My Fairhaven, Oh My. And it's essentially a show that he tries to fill in time, or they try to fill in time by just local history, different things like that, or just kind of what's going on, what's shaking in Fairhaven. I'm thinking that they probably talk a little bit like this, and their day job is they're a grocery clerk, and they have $40.
Nice.
Their safety item is a cane because they consider themselves to be a gentle person by nature. Their props are a tea set, a nice chair, and a map of Fairhaven.
Oh.
Since I picked a local talk show, I have my 3 connections: La 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 Roo, the exotic pet dealer, for my underground connection, or underworld connection. I'm also very tight with James Gregg, the local coroner. And then, of course, there's the grocery store owner, Cranston Earl. We don't get along very well, but they are still my connection. And then my supernatural ability is politeness. And the way that I kind of envisioning the politeness superpower or supernatural ability working is that, like, when it activates, everyone just acts on their best behavior as best as they can. I'm not
Okay.
sure if that's too powerful, but it felt like the right amount of weird.
Well,
Um,
yeah. Well, the thing is that you only get to use that supernatural ability once, and you
oh,
only
fair
get
enough.
it. It only gets activated if you
Boxcar.
All
roll all
sixes, right?
sixes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So that'll be a good way to just completely disrupt a combat if, like, that's what's going on. Hold on, everyone.
Well, or they just lift their pinky while they shoot you. I mean,
Exactly. In terms of my stats, since I have a local talk focus, I start with a mouth of 2, and I distributed a point into mind and a point into soul. I have no body but me.
I like him. All right, Rob.
okay, so you guys, there's overlap with a couple, so I'm going to throw 2 out. Maybe you can help me choose. I've got Jake Tooley's. He's a fishmonger by day, and he's an expert on tarot reading. In fact, he does tarot readings. He doesn't know anything about tarot. He has no training, and in fact, many non-tarot cards have been shuffled into his deck. But his readings often actually pan out, so he'd have some supernatural. My other option is Count Billy, the cowboy vampire, who hosts a movie show that's westerns and horror movies. And of course, it's cable access or community access, so it's horrible movies, the only things he can get his hands on.
Yeah, some real schlock.
So,
God,
did
I
you
love
say
both of those.
did you say horror movies or just horrible movies?
Horror movies and cowboy
Oh,
movies, because he's
oh,
Count Billy, the
I thought it'd
cowboy
be great
vampire.
if it was this guy who was dressed as a vampire who only showed westerns, but that would be good. So,
All right,
I
any
really
vote
like. I
for
gotta say,
either?
I really like. I like both, but I really like the tarot guy.
Okay, I'm partial to him. Okay, I'm going for it. Damn it, I was gonna be
Yeah,
disappointed. So Jake
that's what my vote was
Tooley's,
going to be.
he hadn't lived in town too long. So it's his show is Tarot with Tooley's. And his programming focus is, what do they call it? Spiritual?
Yes,
Mhm.
Okay.
spirituality, and your soul skill begins with a 1.
So 1. His day job is fishmonger.
Wow, you got some good
Oh yeah.
soul abilities.
Yeah.
And then supernatural ability, I was thinking like he gets a brief bit of like mind reading when it's triggered.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Sounds
cool?
good. Yep.
Okay. Mind reading. Let's see. I'm going to put 1 into mind and 1 into body because chopping fish, it ain't easy. It's a lot of work. And so props, he's got his tarot deck, of course. What is the safety thing? Or like how do they define that?
They don't. It isn't.
It's a
It's a
I know
it's
it's loosey goosey. I get
yeah,
that.
it's a safety item. It's like, like Captain Puddles is a steel pan, so or an iron pan, isn't it?
a
Cast
cast
iron
iron
pan.
pan in case I
Yeah.
gotta deflect a bullet.
Yeah.
Okay. So
So
yeah, he's got like a cedar plank that, you might cook fish on. You put it on the plank in the oven. It's not rocket science.
It's for Ponca people.
Okay. He will have let's see, his tarot deck. He's got to have a cleaver, and I'll think of a third
Ooh.
prop. Oh, and monies. It was a D6.
D6 times 10.
Yep.
Cool. Jake isn't real good with the money. He's got $10.
Damon, what's
Okay.
your character's name again?
Link Thickneck.
All right, thank you.
Of course it is. I don't get contacts, right? For spiritual, no. And that makes sense. Jake's new in town.
Well,
Few years.
All right. So we have a talk show host, a children's entertainer, a tarot reader, and an egg specialist. So we're off to a good start here. Yeah, so this town we don't really have there's no map for Fairhaven, I asked. And it's basically a place you create yourselves. or we create together. You've already started to do it because now we have Schneiderman's hardware store. Not only do we have a hardware store, but Thickneck works at the damn thing. So the place is already starting to come together before we've even started. I envision it as this place that's kind of perpetually stuck in the 70s, 80s, and possibly early 90s, but it has very much, to me, it's smacks of late 70s, early 1980s.
Mhm. Pre-internet, right? For sure.
Definitely pre-internet. Absolutely. There is one telephone in the home. So
Yeah.
you schedule a time for people to call you.
If you were really lucky, you had a second line.
Yes, if you were very lucky. We had a second line.
You live in the mansion on the hill.
My dad had a good job.
I figured out my props at least. KitchenAid, stand mixer, cast iron skillet, and a plastic chicken in a nest.
All right. All
Yes.
right.
So I haven't figured out my special gadget.
Okay, you do realize you're gonna have to rely. You may have to rely on these things. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
What could go wrong?
So why don't I just go with this and let's see where it goes.
Sure.
So
Sounds like the best way to start.
absolutely. Fairhaven is a special town, more special than one will gather with just a walk down Main Street. Fairhaven has secrets. Fairhaven has legends. Fairhaven has monsters. Before Fairhaven became Fairhaven, it was something else. A land considered as sacred as it was dangerous. Most of the area's early history has faded with time and progress, while some of it has been scrubbed away with great intention. If one does enough digging in basements and books, they might find breadcrumbs of mysteries, including little people, big people, people from the sky, and people from the caves. At first, we marveled at last summer's full moon, shining like a pinball and refusing to wane. Then things started to change, and we knew that moon was no good. Bat infestations, reports of furry people in the woods, and those two missing kids cast a pall that looms heavy in every living room and bar room in town. Fairhaven needs heroes, and the station manager at WHA Public Access has been curating a programming lineup of local talent that may have what it takes to get things back to the way they are supposed to be. These television hosts mobilize as a team to investigate, stabilize, and if needed, eradicate the shadowy goings on threatening Fairhaven. So, it's Friday evening. You've all done your shows. You've either done your shows or finished your day jobs for the week. And you've all gathered at your favorite dining or drinking place. What would that place be, do you think?
It's a restaurant called the Fairhaven Little Spoon.
Sounds good. Like a diner sort of deal?
Sounds like a greasy spoon kind of place, yeah?
I mean, it's a little spoon. Yeah.
Kind of place we
I
can
think-
afford.
I think it's the nicest place in town, but it's also a diner.
Is it the nicest place in town? Let me check.
No, it
It ought
can't,
to
it
at least
can't
be like
possibly
a
be.
family restaurant, maybe.
It might be the nicest place that
Yeah.
we can afford to go.
a big boy.
There we go.
That's the
Oh,
upscale.
it's pretty much the did you say a big boys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually thought
That was the second best restaurant in my hometown. So
I had actually thought of a big boy, but I then I forgot about it because I wanted.
What if
to
Little Spoon is a big boy knockoff and they just have this like 6-foot statue of a spoon out outside the front door?
It's little spoon, but it's a 6-foot tall
But
spoon.
it's a 6-foot tall spoon.
but it's a really big teaspoon though.
Yes.
I became enchanted with the place when I interviewed the restaurateur.
What if it's a 10-foot statue of a kid holding a little spoon, just like a
That
really
also works.
small spoon?
Yeah, that sounds
It's,
all right.
I don't
It's
know.
an actual size spoon
Yes.
for this 10-foot tall child.
Yes. In a basically a big boy, in a Mark's big boy out of a Mark's Big Boy mold, but with a different paint job.
Ooh, you said a Mark's Big Boy. That's interesting because I always
Mm.
knew them as Frisch's.
We
Wait,
had
what?
Alliance Brothers.
I've never known big boys to come with names. I didn't realize the
Oh,
owners
yeah.
would put their names on them.
Oh yeah, we had Elias Brothers Big Boys in Michigan.
I had
when
no
I grew
idea.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a schism in the Big Boy
Yeah.
I just remember
franchise.
one in Milwaukee, and it was called Mark's Big Boy.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
I think the franchise owners got to put their names
Yeah,
on
they
it.
got to spruce it up a little, put their
See, I had
personal
no
stamp
idea.
on it.
I did not know that. See, you're learning all kinds of stuff.
Big Boy,
Learning all
the
kinds of stuff.
public access of
I was going to say, we need
restaurants.
a public access show about Big Boys, the restaurant.
All right, so then I was supposed to have you all introduce yourselves, but you've already done that.
Oh,
So
yes.
we know your characters. Okay, so you're all sitting there talking about whatever you're talking, and then you could say mind. So I'm gonna say like Link, maybe. You've got a strong mind.
Purportedly.
Well, you're listening to people, you're listening to the conversation, and you notice over beyond the woods, on the outskirts of town, a giant inflatable pig
Oh.
balloon rise above the treetops.
Pink Floyd's in town.
And you know that's the signal from the station manager calling the weird heroes back to the station for an urgent mission.
To the station. I checked the bus schedule.
But we must show that we leave a tip. How was everyone's service today? I think 25% is for excellent, 24 good, and I think 15 to 10 is passable. I feel that our service was passable, so that's the amount that I will put.
It's the early '80s. I'm thinking 10, maybe 15.
Yeah, 50% would have been exorbitant.
I'm gonna slap $10 down. Let's go.
It's pretty much the same, pay rate back in the 80s as it is now.
What is your mode of transportation here, or modes of transportation?
Well, I mean, it says we've got 100. So, I mean, are we assuming that none of us has could one of us have a beater type car?
Oh,
I mean, back then
absolutely.
you could get a car for $100.
Absolutely.
It might catch fire, but you could get a car. Yeah, I don't think. Well, no, Jake's from New York. He actually gets around without a car. Does one of you have a car?
I got a plumbing van.
Perfect.
There we go.
Van.
Yeah, I'll hop in the back. I don't mind.
Yeah, let's do it.
To the plumbing van.
It's more kind of like it's like one of the earlier UPS trucks. So it's
Okay.
a little bit bigger than what you're used to, but it's definitely not something that's gonna go real fast. But she'll get us there. But it would essentially be big enough to keep all the plumbing stuff and all of us inside of it, I do believe.
Right. So you all get out of the diner, the Little Spoon, and start piling into the van. And just as you're getting into the van, you hear the distinctive click, 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 clicking sound of cards in bicycle spokes.
Oh, yeah.
And turning around, sure enough, you see 6 members of the local teen cycle gang, the Lil
Ooh.
Bastards, all clad in denim jackets and vests, all riding Stingrays and BMXs.
Those
And
little bastards.
yes, they make your lives a misery. They're the bane of your existence. You think they're responsible for the endless on-air obscene prank calls that caused Virgil Sweatpants Dongoli's psychotic breakdown?
God!
It's also rumored that they cost over $20,000 worth of damage to the WHPA TV13 van in the last year alone. And even the desecration and grave robbery of the final resting place of Josephine Hottenpansen, beloved host of Jolly Josie's Jelly Jamboree. And they surround your vehicle, and they're armed with baseball bats. One of them's got a BB gun. You see Snotty Scotty Esternudo. He's got a butterfly knife. And they just surround the van, and they're just taunting, jeering at you, spitting at you.
Is that before we get in the van or we're in the van?
Oh, you can be in the van at this time.
I'm hitting the gas.
Are they circling the van on their
Yeah,
bikes?
yeah. They're
Good.
circling the van.
I'm
So,
pushing
would like-
forward. I'm gonna find a time and just kind of like start nudging it around, working the wheels back and forth.
they just as you're going by, you just hear them bang, bang, banging on the sides of the van with those baseball bats. Marty Pinkelheimer steps down off his bike, pulls out a slingshot, and puts a nice little crack right on the driver's side windshield.
I would like Erasmus to threaten them by saying, "I know all of your mothers. Desist this at once, or I'm telling."
All right, give me a mouth roll here.
So my mouth is 2. So
you're
I
gonna
roll
roll
3 6-sided dice.
three six-sided dice. You're looking for 5s and 6s.
Okay. Ugh. So I got a 4, a 2, and a 1.
Not so good.
They just laugh at you. Elvira Chanua moons you, and then little puke by Gall drops his BMX and starts urinating on the side of the van.
Okay. So can we open one of the? So he's urinating on the van. Can I open a panel or a window and
Hang
throw
on.
an egg in his throw an egg in his pants?
Oh yeah, sure. You could you could try that. That would be a body, wouldn't it? That would be a
Yeah,
body
probably.
roll.
I have
With my
0
body.
points in body, as it turns out.
Okay, so it's gonna be
Oh.
one die.
Here we go. Nope.
Actually, I just realized I can use my spirituality to try an answered prayer to try to grant a re-roll to a PC. So I'm
Oh.
hoping to grant a re-roll on that. I'm going to tell.
Link, you try and wind down the window and throw that egg out, but you're so flustered by all of this that you don't actually get the egg out the window in
Yeah, I
time.
was just saying,
and
it drops
it
inside.
drops inside and just smashes right into your lap.
Ooh,
And
let's not put this to waste.
Link loses 1 hope point.
Ugh.
1 hope point. Oh dear.
Ugh. Good God. Okay. Well, it doesn't
Sure.
matter the timing here because I did not get a 5 or 6.
Oh, okay.
I got 3 3s, so that's cool.
They're just booing and laughing at you and just calling you losers and just get lives. Who do you think you are? You think you're TV stars now?
Hmm.
Dumbasses.
They're still circling the van.
Oh yeah, they're
Oh,
still.
okay.
What
I'm
about his
opening the
plan to
door.
nudge forward in the van and sort of make a breakthrough there?
Oh, then I'm going for it. I'm just gonna gun it.
You're just gonna gun it? Well, give
Well,
me a.
they're gonna hear it go. They're gonna hear the van go.
I want to. Yeah, I know you would just do it, but would Captain Puddles do it? So I'm. So I'm
Wait.
gonna say,
Oh, these are children.
does Captain Puddles have the strength of will to run over a bunch of teenagers in a van?
Oh, ooh.
Give me a soul roll.
He'd probably only hit 1 or 2 of them on the way.
Hold on. All right, I get an extra one. I got a 5 and a 5.
Oh, all right. Yes.
Eat that, Pinkenheimer.
Yeah. The van lunges forward, and as it does so, the 2 kids in the front way, it's Bernie LaFlame and Vinny Calamari. And Vinny Calamari smacks and breaks one of your front headlights with a baseball bat, but you manage to make your way through them and out of the parking lot and back down to the main street of Fairhaven.
All right.
And as you're driving away, you hear Snotty Scotty Esternudo shout to the others, "Screw these old weirdos! Who wants to go on a joyride?" And at this, all the others hoot and holler, and they hop on their bikes and they cycle away in the opposite direction.
Hate those kids.
Oh, bastard!
We used to get out the way worse when I was kids.
You hurry down Main Street, eventually reaching the premises of Fairhaven's WHPA TV13 public access television station, housed on the corner of a crumbling strip mall. Its only other business still in operation being the Fairhaven Bubble Wash, 24-hour laundromat.
Hmm.
You make your way through the entryway and main hallway of the TV station back into the staff room. You hurry to the soda machine that stands against the back wall and enter the passcode. Tab, tab, Fresca tab. The front of the soda machine cabinet swings open, revealing a firefighter's pole behind.
Excellent.
Jumping down.
Yeah.
Yeah, you all slide down the pole and find yourselves in a plain basement with whitewashed brick walls, cement floor, and a drop ceiling lit by bright fluorescent lights. When the last of you comes down the pole, the room is plunged into darkness. When the lights come back on, you find yourselves in a musty wood paneled room. Your feet rest upon lurid green indoor-outdoor carpeting. The room is bathed in the dim orange glow of a single Edison bulb in the center of the ceiling. Directly below it stands a podium. Perched atop the podium is a worn and dusty ventriloquist's dummy.
Oh boy.
Slowly, the dummy's head rises from its chest. The eyes suddenly open and seem to regard each of you individually. Then its mouth opens and it speaks in a crackling broadcast radio voice. You recognize the voice immediately as that of the station manager. Greetings, hosts. As you know, our local roller derby team, the Riemann Demons, are due to face the Avon Thunderbirds in the finals for the national championship. Normally, these players are bastions of sportsmanship and fair play, but reports are surfacing of changes in their moral compasses and their personalities seem to have been altered. I want you to find out why our beloved local sports team has changed so drastically just prior to the biggest match of their careers. Two of them were just seen entering Bakshi's frozen yogurt. So get moving. And with that, the dummy slumps down, the lights go dark again, and then when they come back up, you once again find yourselves in a plain, whitewashed basement.
Right.
She's frozen yogurt. And is
Yeah,
that
why does
Bakshi
anybody
like
eat
Ralph
that stuff
Bakshi, or-
anyway? You want ice cream? Eat ice cream. Crazy fad these days. Rather knock out headlights of vans than eat that stuff.
It doesn't matter. I'll spill them both when I'm on my ship anyways. Let's
I
get going.
Custard is
Right.
the frozen treat of choice.
Yeah.
Should be obvious.
Not
True.
fair.
I believe that there is a world,
Yeah.
there is a Fairhaven big enough for frozen yogurt, custard, iced creams, and the like.
So while I assume we're heading over in the now damaged van,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna pull some tarot cards and I'm gonna try to do a soul roll for the predict future. Get a hazy glimpse of the future. Future glimpse, hazy symbolic vision of what lies ahead. So, Jake lays out some cars, bumping along in the back of the van. She's like, "Okay, what do we got? We got the star. We got the 3 of cups. We got a wild draw 4. Okay, what does all that mean? Ooh, I got a 5 and a 6 this time." So I'm just hoping for some kind of insight as to what this could all lead to or what's behind this for the characters. It should be vague, obviously.
Jake sees glass shattering, people diving to the ground, and he hears very loud repeat bangs.
Well, that ain't good.
No, that doesn't sound good at all.
Yeah, I fill the guys in on that. I'm getting some signs of shattered glass. Well, in this draw 4, well, that's never good. People diving, like maybe explosions or shootings or something. So keep on the lookout, whatever we're doing here.
Let's get to that yogurt shop.
Maybe somebody just didn't like their yogurt. I don't know. You tell me.
So you're heading to the yogurt shop?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, you head back down through town, past the library, past the police station, and you finally come across Bakshi's frozen yogurt. And you pull into the parking lot, and as you're approaching the store, you can hear voices coming from inside. The closer you get, the clearer they come. And you can hear the owner, Roger Bakshi, not Ralph Bakshi, Roger Bakshi.
It's an animated
And,
conversation.
No,
A ding
no
dang.
relation. It is an animated conversation, yes. Yes, over an actual conversation. So you hear him think, just go, oh, please, I don't have much money, please. And then you hear a voice, just this mean, loud, laughing voice go, What yous do not seem to grasp is that my cohort and myself are not asking. We're telling yous to pay up. What are you gonna do?
Was the Derby gang doing mob shakedowns?
Is this coming from like the main entrance, like or there's like a back?
Yeah, no, it's coming. It's coming from the actual, the lobby. It's not a very big store. It's just a small.
Okay, okay.
It's a small. There's enough room for there's 3 stools in the window, and there's maybe one booth.
Would this place be open normally at this time of day?
Yeah, because it's about 7 o'clock in the evening.
Okay. Well, Link suggests to his friends, "Hey, why don't we just go in and pretend we want some yogurt? See what happens."
That's going to be the acting role of a lifetime from me, but okay.
You can do it.
Like, I'd want that stuff. Maybe if I got a finger cut off, I'd store it in there to freeze it for a while.
I will go in.
Yeah,
Me too.
Link goes in. Yep.
When you enter, there are 2 women standing in the lobby. One of them is leaning over the counter menacingly,
Mhm.
and the other has the poor owner, Roger Bakshi, in a headlock and has dragged him over the counter.
Oh, jeez.
Do we recognize them as members of the Derby team?
Yes, you recognize them. They appear to be members of that Derby team.
I would like Erasmus to enter into the conversation and basically say something effective. Ladies, you are stalwarts of our community. This is no way to act. And I would like to try to see if I can talk them down with a mouth roll.
All right.
If you know what I mean.
Huh?
Huh?
All right.
It
Rolling
sounded
3
dirty. I don't
six-sided
know.
dice. 2 5s, 1 4.
Mm.
Nice.
I was hoping for the trip 6 on this one so that I could activate my supernatural ability. But hey, that's the way it goes.
The taller one drops Bakshi to the ground and he slides back behind the counter. And then the other turns to you and says to her compatriot, "Let's get out of here, Scars." And the other one says, "Right behind you, Buster." And they push past you and go skating out the front of the store.
Yeah, they're on roller skates, aren't they?
Oh. Would Puddles be able to trip one of them?
You could try. Give me a body roll.
Right.
Give me a body roll.
2 4 6.
Oh, you got a 6. What do you want to do?
So I'm going to take the last one by just taking my bucket and no, I'm just gonna take my foot. Yeah, taking my bucket and kind of like swing or rubber anchor. Sorry, and use the rubber anchor to catch her foot and kind of trip her up.
All right. Yeah. She goes tumbling to the ground. And as she does, the other wheels around on her skates and says, "Scars, don't let them get you." And as this happens, a Tommy gun materializes in her hands. And she begins to spray the entire front of the store and the parking lot with bullets.
Tommy gun.
So it appears in her hands.
Yeah, it just appears and it's almost transparent. It fires these almost transparent bullets that spray everywhere and just shatter the windows. They shatter the windshield of the van. While this is happening, the other springs to her feet, and you notice another Tommy gun materialize in her hand. And she skates to her partner, and both of them just proceed to lay down a punishing amount of fire on the area.
But not actually shooting at us, it sounds like.
They're kind of shooting over you, yeah.
Yeah. We're like ducking and covering.
I got a theory that they might be inhabited by some gangster spirits.
Or gangster movie.
That's kind of interesting. Give me a mind roll.
Erasmus's mind is 1, so I'm going to roll 2 6-sided dice.
Nice.
I got a 6.
Yay.
Hey.
Erasmus knows quite a lot about the history of this town, obviously.
Mhm.
And you recall that during the late 1920s and early 1930s, there was a man by the name of Freddie Arico who ran a bootlegging operation in a warehouse on the outskirts of town. And him and his gang met a grisly end one night when they were gunned down by a rival gang.
Noting that for later.
Mm-hmm.
And those two turn heel and skate off.
Are they skating off in the direction of where that warehouse would be?
You don't really recall where that warehouse was. You just know
No.
that there was one on the outskirts of town.
Could I potentially consult my map of Fairhaven to try to triangulate
Ooh.
roughly where that is?
Yeah, your map of Fairhaven, which we're making up as we go along.
Mhm.
Oh, it's one of my inventory items.
Yeah, it
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
really
It's
show
too
anything.
current.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
too current. But on a 6, you do notice that on the outskirts of town there's the Fairhaven History Hut, which is
Ooh.
like a small little museum to the town of Fairhaven and the county, and it's basically volunteer run. And there's also the public library, which may have some information on that. And there's also the police station, who they may have something. But as we all know, the police can't be trusted. So,
Nope.
I'm gonna check on Mr. Bakshi. Are you okay,
Yeah,
fella?
yeah.
oh, those ladies were so mean.
Yes, they were not. They were not acting in the typical stalwart and honorable behavior that we expect of our town's athletes.
Why do you think they were trying to extort you?
I don't know. They looked familiar, but I did not recognize their accents. They seemed foreign. Maybe they were from out of town.
Yeah, it's probably something like that.
I made sure to call the police. They should be here soon.
Nope. That's our
Well, we
cue.
should get there.
What the fuck?
So
Jesus.
tell you what, you handle that. We'll go see if we can see where they went or whatnot.
Yeah. All right, let's do it.
All right. And the van. Busting out of there.
The history hut is probably closed. Is the library still open at like 7:30 at night?
Sure.
All right, we hop in what's left of the van.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go to the library and use the card catalog.
Library.
You get to the library, and the librarian, Clyde Treacle, is still there. And he doesn't look too happy. And he looks at his watch and says, "The library's closing in 15 minutes."
That's all the time we need.
Perhaps you can assist us. Oh.
Yeah, there are local history sections, particularly about the bootlegging that happened here in Fairhaven in the 1930s.
Oh, it's funny you should ask. I was just looking into that myself. And he provides you a box of materials related to mob history in the town. Inside is an old newspaper microfiche, and you hook up the microfiche in your 15 minutes,
Yep.
and you read about a massacre of 5 men at the Arico Wholesale Warehouse in 1930 by a rival gang called the Thunderbirds, but nothing was ever proven.
Wait a minute. The visiting team is the Avon Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
So they are.
I'm sure it's a coincidence.
The mystery deepens.
And Clyde Treacle says, "Oh, it's fascinating, isn't it? So much history in this town. It was so exciting back then, not like now."
Yeah.
Where was that warehouse?
Oh, well, the warehouse, it's long gone. They demolished it. They built the
roller
St.
rink.
John's Arena on top there.
Apologize. What was the
you
name
go
of the
out-
arena
you
again?
go out on the outskirts, and you can't
St.
miss
John's.
it.
Yeah, St. John's
St.
Marina.
John's Arena. It's the biggest building out there.
All right.
All right. Jake, meanwhile, is convinced that his mob movie idea means something, so he flips through Leonard Maltin's movie book guide,
Oh, yeah.
which existed by then. I checked. But not Video Hound. Video Hound doesn't come around for quite a while. Jake finds nothing.
Right to the arena.
To the arena.
Is this arena also where the where the roller derby takes place?
Yes, it is.
I figured as much. Yes,
mhm.
yes.
There's flyers all over town.
The Riemann demons. It's terrible.
So you're driving down the main street towards the outskirts of town. You pass Bakshi's yogurt store, and you can see that officers Glenn Turdlet and Al Waffle have arrived at the scene there and are taking a statement from Bakshi. And you keep your heads down and just speed right by there.
Yeah.
You pass by the History Hut, which is indeed closed. Keep driving at the back roads, and you pass the drive-in movie theater. It's got nothing going on this evening. It's starting to get dark by the time you reach St. John's Arena, the largest, most modern building in town.
Are there cars parked in the lot, or there's signs that people are there?
There are no cars parked in the lot, but there are lights on in the building.
Yeah. All right. Is there a back entrance that's open, maybe?
The show's tomorrow. Let's find a way in. Go around back.
Check
Yeah, we
doors.
better check this out.
I guess I'm just trying to get an idea of what the shape of the building so we can figure out how we're gonna approach. Like, do we run down along the side? Is it just doors at the front? Windows on the side, kind of like a big old like hockey arena, or is it closer to like the Alliant Energy Center?
It looks more like a low-end, smaller arena. Like I would say, geez, how can I say this with
A big skating rink
Yeah.
size.
Perfect. Yep.
Okay, so it wouldn't take long to walk around and look for open doors.
Yeah.
No, it'd be like a county arena. It wouldn't be hugely large, but pretty big.
Yeah, could
Big
seat
enough.
5,000 people or something.
Oh yeah. So and there are metal doors on the front. There's access doors pretty much everywhere.
So as we go around, are there any doors propped open by whoever's within?
Yeah.
You try one of the doors and the door is open.
Yeah, let's
Oh,
just go in.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Kind of town, people don't even lock their arena doors.
Yeah. And you go in and you're like in a long open hallway, and there are wooden doors leading into the arena itself in front of you, and then there are concession stands and such, which are all empty at this point. No event happening, but you can hear rumbling and rolling echoing from the arena beyond the doors.
Okay.
Do we want to take a look at that first? I was wondering if maybe we wanted to check out the locker rooms.
I think that's a great idea.
You dirty old man.
Yeah. Well, do we know? I guess this isn't the warehouse. This is a whole new building, so we wouldn't have a sense of where the massacre exactly happened related to the layout of the building, right?
Yeah.
You would not.
Okay.
But we're assuming that the roller derby people are possessed. So if we
Yeah.
hear noise in the area where they're probably playing,
Yeah, let's
they
take a look.
might be practicing. So that would be a better time to look elsewhere.
That's
Sure.
yeah.
Okay,
I wouldn't
that
mind
makes
taking a
sense.
peek through the door just to see what's actually going on.
You could, you could
Okay.
peek it.
So peek.
Yeah. Link takes a peek, and you can see that a track has been set up
Hmm?
in the arena, and there are 5 women in helmets and roller skates skating furiously around it.
And it looks like normal roller derby.
Oh yeah.
Okay, nothing untoward here.
Mhm.
Nope.
Well, when the Thunderbirds show up, all bets might be off.
So it just looks like normal practice, friends. I say we go to the locker rooms.
Well, I guess what are these doors on the hallway, or what's in the hallway that we could open?
The doors lead into the main arena.
Oh, that's it. So there's nothing else where we could. Okay. Do we want to try a different entrance?
Well, there's bathrooms, and there's office doors and such and such.
Let's see if we can go in the office doors or something like that.
Should we split up and look for clues?
We can do that.
The offices appear to be locked.
Okay. Are there any doorways leading out of the office, or is it just into this one?
No, the door leads to the office from the main corridor.
Would Captain Puddles have had done a birthday in this building ever?
Yes.
Makes sense.
So would I know, like, okay, offices, bathrooms on this side, on the other side is like the utilities, or like some other areas, or where the locker rooms might be?
Yeah, he would know where the locker rooms are.
Okay, so then, with that knowledge, trying not to go through the center, I guess go in the right entrance to get to the locker room.
All right, you lead the way to the locker rooms.
Okay.
And you're now in the locker rooms. There are some towels on benches here. Some of the lockers are open. There's clothing in there. It doesn't look like they're too concerned about security or anybody stealing belongings. Nothing is particularly in disarray. It just looks like a locker room that's being used.
Okay.
Do we see any other gear to indicate that this is our hometown team here? The demons?
Yes, there are some Riemann Demons logos. There's some spare Riemann Demons shirts lying around here, some jerseys.
All right, so there's got to be something here that whatever these gangsters are possessing them. Like, there's got to be something, some icon, or maybe the spot that they died in, or something like that. How do
Yeah,
we
I
find
don't know.
that?
Can we just do a search of this locker room? I mean, you said we've seen things. Can we search it?
Sure. You search through the locker room and you don't really find anything. All you find are women's clothing, some, purses, some money, stuff like that, some cans of soda, some water bottles. There's really nothing out of the ordinary.
Can Puddles take a look to see if there's any showers and try and figure out if he can follow the plumbing, like back to where there might be some other areas of secret or hidden?
Well, there's a second locker room, right? So I'm presuming.
Yes, there
Yeah.
will
The
be
visiting
second
team.
locker room.
Yeah, exactly. So we have at least one more locker room to check.
Are there other rooms we could look for too? Because I mean, it might not be in one of the locker rooms either.
Is there a basement anywhere?
Ooh.
Yes, there is.
Okay. Basement sounds promising.
Yeah, bad stuff a lot of times comes from underground, in my
I
experience.
agree.
Plus, I'm feeling kind of creepy just hanging around in the ladies' dressing room.
All
But
right.
that's just me. I don't know.
So you head down the basement, and the basement is very much an industrial building basement. It's very cold, very sparse, lit by fluorescent lights, very rudimentary room dividers put into it. The ceilings in it are covered with corrugated metal, corrugated sheets, and fluorescent lights hanging. And there's just, various things stored down here, just things for like farm shows and what have you.
Hmm.
So are you describing our actual search of this place?
Yeah, pretty much. And as you're searching, you hear a noise behind you, and you turn, and at the bottom of the stairs, you see the 5 members of the Riemann Demons.
Yeah.
And the first one, who you know as the team captain and their jammer, Jolene Cochran, says, "So yous are the mugs that gave scars and busted the business earlier. What do you think you're doing on our turf?"
Mom, I'm trying to not get Puddles anywhere. What are you doing?
"Do yous blokes work for the Thunderbirds?"
Nope. We're just lawful citizens of Fairhaven. Just like
Yeah.
you.
We got no use for them Thunderbirds, right, boys?
Not at all.
Hate
Nope.
them. Hate them, in fact. Got a lot of bad blood, us and the Thunderbirds.
"I don't believe you. Do you believe them?"
Hold on. So it says soul can be used for de-escalation. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Be like, yeah, of course, everybody hates the Thunderboids.
Boys, give me a roll.
Okay. And so, oh, by the way, I instead of putting 1 point in mind, I just got 1 in body and a total of 2 in soul.
All right.
And I got a 5, thankfully, with that third die.
Well, if you ain't the Thunderbirds, what are you doing here?
Like I say, we hate the Thunderbirds, but we heard that they were going to try to ambush yous with machine guns. Or maybe it's something like that already happened. Do you know anything about that? Like on this very site, they were supposed to shoot you up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they did. And now they're coming back? We're gonna get our revenge.
Where were you when they shot you?
Right here.
On this very spot? No way. You'd think there'd be
Yeah.
blood everywhere and
What are
whatnot.
the odds? It's like serendipity.
Has it occurred to you that maybe when you were last killed, you weren't wearing roller skates?
We knows we ain't broads.
Right. So the Thunderbirds that are coming, they're also going to be broads.
Huh?
That's right. They're just going to be broads wearing roller skates.
That don't make no sense.
Answer me this. What year do you think it is?
Well, it's 1931.
Oh,
Well,
no,
now
it's-
see, that's
it's
the thing.
It's 1979.
Respectfully, you might be, well, You might have been given a second lease on life, but potentially to the detriment of some of Fairhaven's most stalwart and incredible athletes.
Yeah, you guys wouldn't want to hurt no ladies, would you? Hey, did we see a newspaper like one of those quarter newspaper vending machines? Might have been about a dime in '79. I don't know.
Yes, there absolutely would have been. So
Hey, while my buddies talk to you, I'm gonna go get something that offers a little proof of what we're talking about. Don't worry, I'll be right back. And if they don't thwart me, I'm gonna go up and quick purchase today's newspaper.
we've been waiting so long. We and the boys. We just want to rest in peace. But how is we supposed to rest in peace when those Thunderbirds are still walking around free as a bird, so to speak?
They're not. They've been long dead.
Oh, dead. They'll look at each other. What are you
Just like
thinking
you've
of?
been long dead.
So I'll show them the newspaper and the date when I get back in. I'll take that back when you're done. It's good to wrap fish in that.
Look at that. What? Jimmy Carter. Who the?
Yeah, don't get me started on that guy.
He's a big fan of peanuts.
So you say the Thunderbirds are dead?
Yes.
They're coming. We heard one of these broads say that those Avon Thunderbirds are gonna kill us.
They're playing a game. You possess these ladies who are going to be playing a game against the Thunderbirds. They're
That's
called
just
the
their team
Avon
nickname.
Thunderbirds because that's their team name.
So the Thunderbirds are dead?
Your old gang opponents, those Thunderbirds, have been dead for a long time.
Well, that's some good news, boys. And the others going, sure, yeah, sure is, boss. Sure is. Can we stop it now, boss? Does that mean we can go? And Jolene Cochran, who is possessed by Freddy the Fixer Enrico, says, sure thing, boys. We've earned a good, solid rest. And you see these wisps of gray smoke rise from the heads of the women, and the 5 of them collapse to the floor, and the wisps of smoke dissipate through the ceiling above.
Ooh, well, thank goodness. Ladies, are you okay?
Oh, what the hell happened?
Oh, Captain Puddles is gonna sing his Captain Puddles show song from his show. This is the perfect time to do it. And he's just dancing around, bouncing around, just to trying to get them with the whole what the hell's going on. Then come up to one of them like, "You're awake. Hello."
Oh, Captain Puddles, I'm so glad you're here. Says no one.
No one has got a real mean streak on the skates.
We saw ghosts.
You're possessed.
Possessed? I hope we didn't do any. Did we do anything bad?
You shot up my truck.
Yeah, and the
Bob,
frozen yogurt place, but no harm done there.
Oh,
Nobody got killed as far as we know, or hurt too bad.
that means the cops will come. Oh, is there any way we can make this go away?
Well, Captain Puddles, didn't you say you was looking at the plumbing and there's some kind of bat gassing that you just fixed? Well, that could mess a person up pretty good, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your
My-
last
my-
meal? Like, did you eat
my-
undercooked eggs?
No. Oh, that would do it.
You didn't buy fish at the grocery, did you?
Yeah, we knew
That
that was a
stuff's
bad
basically
batch.
poison.
Ladies, who would believe such a spurious rumor that our stalwart and valiant athletes, the Riemann Demons, who would believe that they would be doing such untoward things at the local yogurt shop?
And I don't think there was any witnesses.
Well, can you vouch for us? We've got our game tomorrow. We can get you free tickets for the game.
Ooh, that'd be great. We'll definitely
Yeah.
vouch for you.
Oh, we'll vouch for you. Yeah, absolutely. Especially
Yeah,
if
we
it
saw
means-
you've been practicing here all night, right?
Yes.
Right, girls, let's get back to practicing. And they all high five each other and make their way awkwardly back up the stairs on their roller skates. I don't know how that works, but
Oh, very carefully. You just kind of just go sideways with your feet.
Half an hour later.
and so the day is saved thanks to the weird heroes of public access.
Hooray.
Erasmus speaks to the good natures and fine, upstanding characters of the Fairhaven Riemann demons.
I'd love to have you on my show, my Fairhaven, oh my.
Oh, sure. Yeah, sure. Sure, we could do that sometime. And so the next night, the stadium's packed. There's hundreds of people there for the face-off between the Fairhaven Riemann Demons and the Avon Thunderbirds. And that girl was right. The Avon Thunderbirds murder them.
Oh God. That's okay. The important thing is that you play and you put your heart out on the court.
And then as you're leaving the arena in the van, you see once again a giant inflatable pig balloon floating above the tree line. And you make your way to the station, into the staff room, tab, fresca, tab, slide down, and you find yourselves in the white fluorescent basement again. It plunges into darkness, single bulb, and below the bulb is a red rotary telephone. The phone rings.
Hoi hoi, who's this?
Heroes! Desperate times call for desperate measures. The Lil Bastards, Fairhaven's notorious youth gang, is in dire straits. There is no doubt that these flat-top demons decked out in denim have given you a run for your money over the years. From slingshot wounds to falsified pizza delivery orders to degrading instances of public humiliation. Last summer's bathroom bomb blowout in particular. The little bastards have targeted you to bear the brunt of their boredom and underdeveloped frontal lobes. But regardless of their faults, it is your duty to fight for truth, justice, and the Fairhaven way. You are Fairhaven's heroes of public access. Look past their sins of youthful ignorance and protect them from truly nefarious forces that threaten all of Fairhaven's well-being. This is bigger than it looks. I trust you will do what is right. We are counting on you. Stay alert. Stay weird. End of section.
Don't we have some vacation coming?
Thank you, Calm. That was a lot of fun.
It was
No, it was-
Like
no,
good,
it was fine.
punchy, straight to the point, got through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I liked it.